where people have been corrupt, it is because not there's something genetically wrong with them, but it is desire to be socially important through the power of money. Think that you have money, then you're everything in society. That has to change. I'll say for the long run, if you want to cure corruption in India, you have to see that the old values of simplicity come back. You should venerate knowledge, you should venerate sacrifice, and we are not looking down on making money. Of course, money should be made, you need material prosperity. But you should not become acquisitive. You should not regard that as an end in itself. You should not develop greed. These only is the only religion I know which actually explicitly says this is the Sanatan Dharma, and this is why we were a continuous society and honest. If we were an honest nation so many years ago, it was because we followed Sanatan Dharma. But in the short run, there are ways of fighting corruption. For instance, in the railway reservation, brought in, the credit has to go to Rajiv Gandhi, we brought in computerization. Today there is hardly any corruption in railway reservations. Technology has solved the problem. Similarly, downloading of forms in your house through the computer, or you go to a computer kiosk and get it downloaded. So you don't have to go to the office and give the chaprasi some money and then the boss some money to get you forms, even to get forms. So the technology is doing part of it. The second thing which is very important is that you must catch big people when they engage in corruption, not small people. Small people later on, it will happen automatically. Catch the big fish, the big crocodiles, and put them in jail. And that is what I am doing. I get many phone calls every day. You see, I get many phone calls, people phoning me up. हमारे घर के पास जो थाना है वो थानेदार चोर है, उसका कुछ करिए. I tell them that, you see, I can't go around the country going after every thana. But people have now that faith that something can be done. But I am saying if I can catch a few people, and of course we have indicted people, sent them to jail, but they have yet to be convicted. I am expecting by December, January, they will all get convicted and one by one go to jail. All the cases are very clear-cut. Raja very clearly gave licenses to two non-deserving companies by seating the CEOs of that companies in his room. All this has been proved. All the witnesses, everything is over now. It's only the final stage of the trial is left. And Raja's conviction is certain. Kanimori's thing you may be seeing in the JPC, the CBI has brought out all the payments that have been made. See, many of the payments are made abroad, and then they get transferred from one company to another bank, like that. And you have to go through layers and layers. It's not an easy job. There was one lady today when I was having dinner was saying, why haven't you sent this person to jail yet? So I said, well, if we are an African nation, we can send people to jail at our wish. We have a democratic process. It's slow, we can speed it up by reforms and all that. But ultimately we must go through a procedure. And that procedure, we have to go no matter what the problem is. I personally believe that the Indian system as it is today can be made to prosecute the corrupt and send them to jail. I have a fundamental disagreement with Anna Hazare on this point. He, or at least his team Anna, so to speak, they make out unless you pass a new law called Jan Lokpal Bill, that law until that happens, corruption cannot be prosecuted. I don't agree. I am now on the verge of major breakthrough. Chidambaram, who people wanted me to send to jail, I nearly sent him to jail in the trial court. But the trial court judge, you see, poor chap, I have sympathy for him. What did he say? He was obviously under pressure, but he did half my work. I said Chidambaram and Raja decided the price together. So if Raja is in jail, Chidambaram should also be in jail. So the judge said, trial court judge said, that yes, Dr. Swamy has proved that Raja and Chidambaram decided the price together. But he did not lead any evidence to show that Chidambaram did it with a criminal intent. Now, yes, it is true that in a murder, you have to show criminal intent, that you were intent on killing somebody. It was not accidentally it happened or something, or you suddenly ran across the road and the car hit him or something like that. So in rape, in murder, you have to show. But not in corruption. Corruption, you have to only show that there's been a national loss, a lack of public interest. Criminal intent is not in the picture. You don't even have to show that the minister received a bribe. All you have to show is that he took a decision which benefited somebody, which was not in the national interest because it caused a loss to the nation. That I've already shown. Licenses have been cancelled as a consequence. So I am surprised the judge didn't know this. Because there are judgments which say that when it comes to corruption, you don't need criminal intent, very specifically. But I suppose, we must recognize that we can't be stronger than our judges. So I've gone in appeal to the Supreme Court. I went for the cancellation of licenses also. The High Court rejected my petition. I went to the Supreme Court. And Supreme Court heard me and reserved the orders. So I'm expecting a decision any day. In the meantime, I've got a new case against Chidambaram. Because he's the most corrupt minister we have. So in the end, I will probably file 19 cases against him. And he may have to go to jail for 150 years. And I wish that he lives up to 150 years. But the fact is that the next case I've taken up is that there was an Indian company called Aircel. And this Indian company, there was a Malaysian company called Maxis, which was partly laundering LTT money. It was owned by Anantha Krishnan in Malaysia, who was of Sri Lankan parentage. He's a Sri Lankan Tamil. And of course, very close association with LTT. And this Maran was the telecom minister. He told the owner of Aircel that Maxis wants to come into India. So you sell your company to him. She said, why should I sell my company? This is something I have, it's my child, I have reared it and so on, I can't do it. So Maran then put all kinds of restrictions and conditions and fines and so on. So this man's back broke and he agreed that he would sell the company to Maxis. But India has a law called on foreign direct investment that no foreign company can invest or buy shares of a company beyond 74%. 26% must be in the hands of an Indian. And that clearance or permission is to be given by Chidambaram. Because at that time, because he was finance minister. The finance minister gives that clearance. So Maxis said, no, I want to buy the whole company. I don't want any Indian partner. Probably because he doesn't want the Indian partner to discover all the nefarious activities he was doing with the money. He said, I want 100%. So Chidambaram devised a procedure that Maxis will buy 74% and another company headed by an Indian but 100% financed by Maxis, which will not be made public, will buy the remaining 26%. So, therefore, in effect, he is buying 100% because the other company is totally controlled by Maxis. But it is headed by an Indian company, by an Indian. So, on that fig leaf, Chidambaram cleared the sale of Aircel to Maxis. So, on that, on 3rd, it was to come on 25th, but then I said, I'm in Houston on 26th. How can I be in Parliament, in Supreme Court on 25th? So, I asked the judge, can you give me an adjournment? So, he's given me till 3rd August. So, 3rd August, I will be arguing, and I hope at that time, CBI inquiry is ordered into Chidambaram. And so, if Chidambaram, his road to Tihar is cleared, then the next person I will take up is Sonia Gandhi. Only thing is that time is in essence because she has got pancreatic cancer and has had Whipple procedure surgery. So some people say it's terminal. I don't know. What is terminal is up to God. But there's a race against time. She is the most corrupt person in our country. And therefore, she must go to jail for these things, or at least the money that she has taken out of the country has to be brought back. Bofors, I was not there. So it was in the hands of some other people. But this is something that I supervise, and I do it in a totally different way. I first of all make the CBI answerable to the Supreme Court. So there is a court monitoring of the CBI investigation. There was no court monitoring of CBI investigation in Bofors. There, Bofors did whatever their bosses in the Home Ministry told them to do. So they made a mess of the whole thing. But Bofors is not going to be, I mean, when I have a lot of time and I want some target practice, I will take up Bofors again, I can tell you that. But it's not a big thing. That today is gigantic corruption. Let me first finish with that. And then when I spare time, I'll go after Bofors again. Now, the issue is this, that 70 lakh crore rupees of India is abroad. Can I bring it back? Yes, that is Baba Ramdev's demand. But he doesn't know how to bring it back. That he asked me. I'm working with him. So I told Baba Ramdev, I'm telling you that this 70 lakh crores can be brought back if the government of India issues an ordinance. Why ordinance? Otherwise you have to bring a bill. Bill will take our discussion all. Today, our constitution, there is a provision, when parliament is not in session, you can enact a law without parliamentary approval for 6 months. And that's called ordinance. You issue an ordinance. You issue an ordinance saying all bank accounts held by Indian passport holders in 70 countries, which are all tax havens, are hereby nationalized. If any of Indian passport holder gives evidence that he has opened it legally, he has put money legally, we will denationalize it for him and return back his account. The remainder is the government of India's property. Can it be done? Yes, it can be done after the United Nations 2005 resolution. Now, because it's anti-terrorist operations, lots of things are happening. How did Gaddafi's bank account get seized? Not by the government of Libya. There's no government there. Some handful of people wrote a letter to Switzerland and they froze it. Mubarak, same thing happened. Today, the facilities are available by which you can do it. So can you do it? There's only one catch. You know, the present government will not do it because it is their bank account, it is there. You see, give you the example of Germany. They found that their nationals had secret bank account in Liechtenstein. So what they did was, they asked Liechtenstein government, you see, please give us the names of these people. They have committed a crime. So Liechtenstein said, how can we? Ours is secret banking. Our business will be finished if it becomes known that his accounts are no more secret. So then Germany said, I see, is that so? So what they did is they caught hold of the senior-most officer of the Liechtenstein bank and gave him $500 million as a bribe. $500 million. And a guarantee that they will take him abroad and keep him safely somewhere. They said, please give us the details of all illegal bank accounts that is there. Because he won't know who's German, who's not German, so everybody's. So that gentleman put it all in a CD and gave it to the German government, and then took the first plane and landed in the United States. There is a extradition trial going on in US, and he's being defended. I don't think he will be extradited at all. But Germany then, getting the CD, they downloaded it and separated it by nationality of account holders. And they found 24 countries officials had bank accounts in a small place like Liechtenstein. So they wrote to all 24 countries that we have obtained the bank accounts of some of your officials, and if you want the details, we'll be happy to send it to you. 23 countries wrote immediately, please send it to us. One country did not. Bharat Mata ki Jai, yes. That's correct. India did not write. So we had to go to the Supreme Court and say that this is available. 16 names are there, they're all top names, including Pranab Mukherjee's name. And he was finance minister. And these 16 names were obtained on Supreme Court order. But to date, the government of India is refusing, on one excuse after another, to release those names. Then France got, in its operation, 890 names of Indians holding illegal bank accounts in Hong Kong Shanghai Bank branch in Geneva. They did not ask, do you want it or not? They sent the names, yeah, these are your names. Even those are secret. They're not being released. So you can't really, I cannot take this fight against corruption to its finality and clean up the system unless you have the government with you. As an individual, I can do only so much. I can demonstrate that the system is capable of cleaning up. I have demonstrated that some people, however big they may be, can be caught. I think I told last time I was here, a complaint I received from the Tihar jail superintendent. I don't know if you remember or not. The superintendent of Tihar jail told a friend of mine, please tell Swami he's sending too many Madrasis to jail. So I said, what is wrong with that? I mean, Raja, Kadnimori, Maran, Chidambaram, like that, you see. I said, what is wrong with that? He said, they come, this poor cook of mine, this Bawarchi, he cannot make masala dosa and idli, and that's all they want, keep on demanding. So I said, well, tell him to be ready. There will be an Italian lady coming, she will ask for pizzas. So I can do this one by one. But ultimately the government must come. And government can come. It's not a difficult thing. In 1977 the government came. That's how we got democracy. But no matter that the Janata Party broke up in 2.5 years, but had not Janata Party come to power in 1977, there would have been no democracy in India. We came, we changed all the amendments that were there in Parliament, which Indira Gandhi brought to finish off democracy and restored democracy. And of course, then the government went. But even if for a short while, if you come, that's enough for changing the whole scenario in our country. So I would say that I appeal to both, of course, Baba Ramdev is very cooperative. He and I work very closely, consult with each other, and I really admire him, you know. Britain came and looted our country. He went and bought one piece of territory from England. So I asked Baba, you have bought an island near England. Now when are you going to buy England? He said, nahi, samay par sab cheez hoga, he said. I'm also pleased that one Gujarati called Mehta has gone and bought the East India Company. So people said, what is there in East India Company? A lot of property is there, but the symbol that ultimately the Indian has prevailed. You ruled us, but we bought that company. So I would say that today the country is awakened. But it must be transformed into a change in government. People say, everybody is thief and all that. So what? Even if everybody is a thief, keep changing the thieves. Don't keep one thief all the time. And I don't agree that everybody is a thief. I think, you know, if here and there aberrations are there, I would still say that, you know, this turnover of personnel, ministerial personnel, is very, very necessary for functioning of democracy. What can you people do? Well, I think you are living in a country which has enormous information. Somebody asked me in a meeting, I think in New Jersey, tell me one thing I can do. I said, okay, if you want one thing you can do, which I think you can't do, but if you can do, it'll be a great thing. I said, you find out how Rahul Gandhi paid his tuition fees in Rollins College in Winter Park near Orlando. He went to some Christian outfit there called Rollins College. And he got, I don't know whether he got a degree or not, because Nehru family, nobody seems to have got a degree. So, but he paid his tuition fees by check, according to me, from a bank in Cayman Island. So, if you can get me proof of that, I'll send him to jail. Next day, he will be sent to jail. Like that, there are so many ministers, their children are getting educated here. Are they paying their own tuition fees? There are people who are buying property here. Sometimes these trials that take place, for instance, this trial of this Liechtenstein man, or that banker who was bribed, I'm told it's throwing up a lot of information, including the names. I have not got any idea whether the Indian names have come out in that or not. But somebody should track that. Some of these young people who are running, who are software engineers, they want to create a website. Excellent idea. This is the area you can assist. This is the area we can't do. I would say in the end, we need, like in America you have, some institute in India which trains investigators, which educates people on how to fight corruption, prepare position papers, have library, invite foreign guests for seminars. But to set up that requires 20 crore rupees. I find that, we Indians are not philanthropic-minded people. But if any of you can get together and give me 20 crores, I'll build an institute for you, which will, which will, which will create new class of investigators and will create a data bank. And I can tell you, India's talent, this CBI, well, everybody's giving them gali, they've got a lot of talent in them. And when they meet me privately, they cry. They say, hamari bezti ho rahi hai. But the fact is that they are able people, they are not allowed to do their job. You get a government which gives them a free hand. Like in 2G, we got them, the Supreme Court, to say, you'll only answer us. You will not talk to any minister. You'll take only orders from us. That's why the 2G came this far. Because we didn't allow the CBI to do what it wants. It can have an opinion. On Chidambaram, they say, no, because Chidambaram is the Home Minister. And CBI officers are all IPS. Their career, their confidential records, their promotion, their transfers, everything is controlled by Chidambaram. Now you ask the same CBI officers, catch this man. Naturally, they are reluctant. But they privately tell me that you get Supreme Court to send him to jail. After that, we'll ragado him, don't worry. So, India is bursting with talent. There's no shortage of it. But it requires some courageous people. And in my opinion, it requires a government. And that the possibilities are now very large because the country is fired up on this question of corruption. There is new hope that corruption can be cleaned up. And with you, I only say, please don't spread despondency if you can't do anything else. Don't say, kuch nahi hone wala hai, koi pakda nahi jayega, sab chor hain. Say the country must be cleaned up. Say that no matter how long it takes, we want it to be cleaned up. Encourage people. Keep going. Not discourage them. Nah, kuch nahi hone wala, waste of time, nothing happens. Opposition also the same. Everything is same. All are chores. So that despondency don't spread. Encourage people, especially these young, you got a huge talent in this country of Indians. Motivate them to do investigative work. Go into, there are organizations in Washington like Global Financial Integrity, the law officers. There's plenty of evidence in this country. RTI, the Freedom of Information Act is far superior in functioning here than in India. So those are the things where you can assist us. We in India think very highly of the NRIs because you are done so well. You have become the richest community of America. You have people are shining. Your younger generation is coming first in competitive exams and spelling bee exams also. All kinds of places you see, so there's an admiration. And therefore, like in the emergency, all you people, I remember addressing in Houston, one of the biggest meetings where Iranian students at the time opposing the Shah of Iran were also present. And the Americans who were present in the audience told these Iranians, why can't you be like Indians and fight and organize the way they do? And the emergency was fought when the whole world was saying that a poor country can never fight for a democracy. A poor country did fight and defeated Mrs. Gandhi in the elections. So therefore, this country has this great traditions. So keep the spirits up, keep the fight up, and encourage people to go ahead in the fight for corruption. This is what you can do. Thank you very much. Just before you start. I just want to tell you that Baba Ramdev is coming He's going on a fast on 9th of August. And in sympathy, I think in the Arya Samaj of Greater Houston, at 6:30 on August 9th, there's a community